This is our, my husband did this. I thought he did a great job. We are going to put a whole list of things down on what we want hands off of. And I wanted the word sanity because I thought that was appropriate. My husband was working more with freedom and democracy. And we each have a long list of privileges, of freedoms, of things that have been hard fought for. My father is rolling over in his grave because he took a whole bunch of bullets for some ideas that are not occurring today. And the least I felt like I could do, since I'm probably not going to take a bullet today, though you don't know, is get over there to Encinitas Boulevard and El Camino, sign or not, good shoes or not, you forgot your water, it's okay, at least show up to let everybody know that we know that this is what's happening, and we won't let it. We just can't let it happen. So just know we're going to be filling that blank in. My husband's wondering where the sign is right now. I just realized because he's a filler inner going, I knew I put it there. He knows it's me, by the way. There's no confusion. He knows I took it. So that's number one. Number two, next Sunday, the 12th, up in LA, Bernie Sanders and AOC together, taking the train up there, same reason. Somebody said to me yesterday they were not incorrect. Do you think this will make any difference to Trump? I said, no, but I don't think anything makes any difference to him. He's already dead on the inside. Sorry for those who have a different political persuasion. And this isn't politics for me. I love Republicans as much as I love Democrats, as much as I love independents. This is not a political issue for me. This is a humanitarian issue for me. I was doing a mindfulness for teens coming up April 26th at the Garden. Well, yesterday I got the phone call that they just had to let go of the team that does education at the Gardens. So there will not be anything at the Gardens happening. San Diego Food Bank, anybody get that note yet? 1+ million meals, gone. The only source of our federal support in the county at San Diego Food Bank, who distributes to every other food bank, private and public. I've been looking into what is the impact of this, private and public, including our St. Andrews Food Bank. So guess what? Here we are coming up on Tuesday. We have to support those people who have counted on us already for over 2 years, right? Because they're not getting bread, they're not getting milk, they're not getting cheese, they're not getting that stuff.
And the other thing to look at is we think about the food bank, but we don't always think, at least for myself, I don't think about Medicaid. I don't think about the SNAP program.
The WIC programs.
Yeah.
Where moms and kids are getting foods so they can stay vital enough to, right? So we know this is a crisis, right? Is there anybody who's not clear? Again, whatever your voting ticket is, this is not important to me, right? And I want you to know, I do not hold aversion or aggression. We can't do it that way. We cannot do it that way. And we're going to have to show up, right? That's the bottom line. So however you're going to do that, whether that's money to Encinitas Mindfulness, give it to me, I'll get it to Carrie, whether, right, you're going to go shop with Lisa, whether on whatever day, however you're going to participate is goodness, right? However that is goodness. Does matter, is in fact that which will change the world. It has happened any infinite number of times and will occur again. And so I thought about the topic today of enlightenment and what that really means. Because we have a lot of lofty ideas about it, don't we? Somehow every moment blissful, every moment with a serene face, every moment perfect in countenance, in loving heart. And I think it is true. I do. I think that's actually accurate. And I think what it looks like is marching on Encinitas Boulevard this morning. I think it is saying no to radical, right, political persuasions that only benefit a few. I think that's enlightenment, right? Because it isn't just about you. It isn't just about your preference, your bias, your politic, your right, your beliefs. Even we can't limit it there because there are certain good integrated, right? We're going to have to do this together. And since I knew that that's what it really was, and I've been talking with someone, and this person has been saying to me, I just don't know if I've got it. It's a little boring every day. You know, I try to sit every day. I go, what am I doing? It doesn't have a real meaning now for me because I'm not doing X and Y and Z where that would have been essential for my work. And so I don't know, maybe it's just not doable. And then maybe it's just not me. And then maybe just being in the garden is enough. And I said, yes, maybe just caring for a garden is enough, right? Maybe it is. As long as what? Good morning, Felicia. Good to see you. Maybe it is enough. As long as what? So it isn't what you're doing. We mistake it, don't we? We mistake it like, then I will do the, no, it's not about the doing. So then what is it about? So I said, maybe gardening is it. It might be perfect.
Being present the whole time,
And what does that mean?
fully embodying the moment that you're in.
With what?
Awareness.
At least. It's half the picture.
Love. Love.
Love. Some kind of love. So as long as you're gardening in love, those plants are going to benefit. And then all kinds of people are going to benefit from those plants. And this will be one beautiful contribution, won't it? An amazing and beautiful contribution. Could this be enlightenment? Certainly. Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. I thought it required sitting in this way, right? Having to do it this way. I said, maybe then the right meditation today for you is a garden meditation, right? Maybe you don't just sit in that weird posture. Maybe you don't just sit silently. Maybe you just walk the garden. And could that then also be a moment of enlightenment? Very completely. Why? Wholly open-hearted, wholly connected to the realities of our interconnectedness, wholly in love with the possibility of what? Sharing, offering, being were the words I heard people use, right? Any other words? So can you already feel the difference between what we think enlightenment really is and then its real moment? Right? So I was making lemon ricotta cookies yesterday, a moment of enlightenment. I felt it. I felt it. What did I feel? Love for everyone who was going to eat one of those cookies and a little for the ones who weren't. Like, oh, shucks. This would be fun. Nice little way to get a little protein. Right? A moment of enlightenment. Why? I wasn't doing that out of self-interest. I wasn't doing it out of greed. I actually don't need anything from that, do I? There's already complete. How about that idea? Does that help? Moment already whole, already completely interconnected, already complete, right there in the lemon ricotta cookie. Moment of enlightenment. And then we go, really? That seems too easy. Right? Don't we? And then we make it, this mind, make it what? Hard, complicated, some distance from my possibility, don't we? We go, not me, not this. I used to say this. You've heard me, not this lifetime. Nuh-uh, I don't have it going on. This is not happening. Yes, it is. Actually, I had to go through a lot of doubt recently over this to go, I'm never going to hit those boomies. I'm never going to hit those paramis. I am not going to make this happen. And actually, I realized I don't have to think about one more moment for that. I don't have to look up the mountain and fall off. I just have to honor it, what I know, what I can be, what I can offer, what I can right today. And then when? Just now, in the joy of the lemon ricotta cookie. Simply, that was it. I hadn't given them to anybody yet. And I didn't have to. Why? It was in my heart mind, wasn't it? I wasn't going, yum, 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 eat the cookie. It wasn't even, in fact, you don't even need a cookie, do you? Do you? You don't need a cookie. I don't need the cookie. I know that heart mind in where? You, right? And then we just live it and breathe it and walk it and hold a sign with it, or give money to St. Andrews with it, or don't scream at our teenager who's an idiot. Moment of enlightenment, isn't it, Dia? Is it not? It's a complete moment. Like, I don't even know what came over me, that I'm not going to kill him. I can't even imagine something, right, that went for me and you, this moment of ease, this moment of lessened what? What are the three? Little less greed, a little less about going my way, a little less aggression around it, a little less hatred for the perceived other, a little less delusion, isn't it? Just a little less, that if it doesn't go my way, it can't be okay. And we wake up, don't we, right there? You just wake up going, all right, I'm going to let this go. I got nothing. I said this 10,000 times while raising my children. I don't even, there's no talking, because the only thing I could do is scream. I recognize this is not that helpful. I don't know what to do. And sometimes I cried because I just was like, my kids are going to be completely fucked up. I don't know what to do. And guess what? They're not. They're actually quite remarkable, each in their own very unique way. Comfortable. This is beautiful. Comfortable in who they are and what they can contribute. And they see themselves as contributors. Right? They're learning how to take more responsibility. That takes time too, doesn't it? Right? It takes time. So this is the idea. I want to read this quote though, so I'm going to find it for you. Is there anybody who's not understanding what we're saying? Get rid of your big idea. Get rid of, I really mean it. Get rid of it. It's ego only talking. If I could only get where? Somewhere else. We do this all day long. We do this for the things we like, the things we hope for, the things we don't like, don't we? If I could only be somebody else, if I could only get somewhere else, if I could only have these other conditions, then no, it's not true. And the Buddha was very clear. There is no condition keeping you from your own goodness greater than what? You. Is it true? There is nothing There's not a circumstance. There's not a bank account. There's not a stock market number. There's not a zero at the end of it that's keeping you from that essential basic goodness, said Chogyam. That's what he called it. He meant the same thing, by the way. That's what he didn't use the word because he knew Westerners would do nothing but clamor and then go, I can't get there. I don't have it. It's not me. It's too hard, right? So he just said basic goodness. The seed of all awakening is right here in you this moment.
Right here in all of us,
Exactly in all of us.
even those that have the other.
Bar none, without exception, says the sutta, omitting none. Even when we go, really, I can't see it at all. That's just we have to just claim it, deficiency. It's a hard idea, right? Because you go, no, that looks pretty bad. And haven't we all looked? Haven't we? And what about that? The moment we failed, the moment we got it wrong, the moment you kicked the dog, the moment you, right? Then what about that moment? Well, the Buddha said, there's only one thing to do with it. What is it? It will occur, he said. Acceptance, recognition, number one, comes first. What's happening here? I've lost my marbles. Beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm lost. The moment you know you're lost, what? You're found. Gives me goosebumps. Like, isn't it? It's great. I didn't do anything yet except go, not this, not this. I don't want, and acceptance means I don't mistake it as me. I understand it then what? How? How do we understand that moment? Causes and condition, reactivity, old habit, fear would be in my list. Vulnerability would be in my list. Terrified about having to step into this moment and with the requirement for, right? Wouldn't it? And so we don't diminish those moments. We don't say lost permanently, do we? We don't say just you're failed. No, we go, and then I woke up to that. Why? Mostly because it hurts, doesn't it? It's beautiful. I can't think of a better system. The Buddha was, like Pavlov. He went, go ahead, touch that. Go ahead. Touch it again. Try one more time. Then you're coming from the angle. Maybe I could, right? And he said, this is guaranteed. This is the path to enlightenment. This is the moment. Knowing the moment of suffering, I am once again awakened. That's written 2,600 years ago. Knowing a moment of suffering, I am now awakened. Why? I have choice. I have agency. I have possibility. I have this capacity of mind, the only species we know so far to actually go, maybe not that, with actual volition, right? Look at what we have been offered then, this precious human life, right? To go, that didn't work out. Now, by the way, I am noticing it has taken 70 years to figure out some of those. 70, like maybe not that. It is not working, even when it's accurate, may not be sufficient. Even when you think you're offering it with kindness, maybe not enough. You might want to shut up first and just make a cookie, maybe, as a better start, right? Moment of enlightenment. moment of enlightenment. How do we know? Because each moment of enlightenment, and it is guaranteed, leads to the next moment of what? Every single moment where you went, I am awake to this. I am recognizing causes and conditions. I am in acceptance about my humanness, both in its vast and infinite capacity and in its vulnerability, right? We have to claim it all. And from there, what?
Peace.
Peace, less harm. What else? Less suffering. Brenton, you came on. What do you think? From one moment of awakening, one moment of being able to stop the train from going off the track, one moment, I just didn't do the same old thing I always do.
Less
Not-
suffering.
Less suffering. A moment of enlightenment. From one moment, it is guaranteed, says the Buddha, to lead to the next. It is guaranteed, even when the causes and conditions of that next moment took you down the track a little. Because what? The probability for waking up to that is infinitely greater. Now, do you catch them all? No, because some causes and conditions, just like the doubt I talked about weeks ago, very shard-like, very deep, very not so accessible, and what? Grateful for the awakening, right? Grateful. Wow, this is interesting. After all these years. Still. And so each moment, and then Pema says something like, when I remember, she says, that every moment I am awake leads to another. And every moment I am not awake leads to suffering. I commit myself again. I commit myself again to let's just then be awake, and even awake to the causes and conditions we cannot yet quite see. We go, I don't know yet. I don't even know where that came. I'm not clear, but the commitment to let me just stay present. Let me stay, people said, in the body. Let me stay in recognition of thoughts as thoughts, because there's a pattern there, folks. Remember, 11 thoughts is about all you're thinking. Mostly having to do with, I like this, I don't like this. I want this, I don't want this. I want that to go away, and I want that to stay. That's most of them. That's too short, that's too tall. This is too cold, this, right? We're spending most of our time in that realm of, right, narrating like sportscasters, right? And then there was the play, and then it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, is what we're mostly saying, aren't we? And yet, even in this, what? There is that in you that is not just narrating. There is you that is actually in the game. That is you who actually goes, just this moment, as best I can, with some kind of friendliness. Then, right? With some kind of friendliness. Like I'm not all the, I can't get to the right, I can't get all the way, but I can take a step. And that step will be shut up. That step will be, I can show up to the march. The step will be, I can't do that either, but I can go buy food, right? Aren't we ever approaching that total and complete enlightenment? Joko told me, she said, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I can't say that full enlightenment is not possible. I don't want to say that. I do believe it is, because here I am, right? 70 years on the path. I just haven't seen it. Because I know myself, and I know my own harsh thought. And I also know the compassion I feel for myself in it. And that is enough. That's enough. She really made it workable. Like, that's enough. You are going to have a harsh thought, possibly. It's conditioned not only in your lifetime, is it? It's conditioned in all lifetimes. We're carrying this from all time. We were not going to magically, right? It wouldn't be reasonable to go fix all that, except for just now, where we can, can't we? Just now, we can. We can smile at our human vulnerability. We can feel for ourselves, can't we? I can. I know you can. And then we arrive to the next moment. As the Buddha says, as if having set the table for a feast. That's his metaphor. Isn't that lovely? This very moment, setting the table for the feast of this moment. Then. And then in all of the early teachings, it says, and so then I will guard the mind. I will guard the mind. I will not let these random narratives, these harsh thoughts, these self-loathing propagate. I will recognize them. I will feel for myself and all those who suffer like this. And I will eradicate by virtue of that alone. Recognize it and then feel for myself and all those who know this humanity, who know this confusion too, right? Setting the feast for the very next moment. And then it looks kind of workable, doesn't it? Like just now. And it doesn't mean you don't have a harsh thought. Remember, volitionally, we don't have complete authority. It is conditioned throughout all time. Survival and its implications are in here, right? We have evolved with this. So we don't even have to get rid of it. This is not the answer. This is that spiritual bypassing. If I could just get away from all that, if I could just be in a mountain cave, if I could just, then I could really have it going on, not even a little. And I've told you my monk story, I won't go over it. The guy who I watched for 10 Vipassana retreat days, I fell in love. I had Vipassana romance. This guy was unbelievable. Norma Jean and I the whole time are going, I don't know. We've got to like marry this guy. We got to, he's incredible, just straight, didn't move. When we got there, he was sitting. When we left, he was sitting. We got up in the middle of the night. He was there. We were like, this is the most impressive thing ever. This must be what enlightenment looks like, right? We're walking to the car together. What happens? We're walking with him. He gets to his car. He has a flat tire. He starts kicking the tire and beating on the car and swearing like a Chicago carpenter. That comes from my family. And we're like, right? And we start to walk away. And I think Norma Jean, I just recollected this, says something like, is that enlightenment? Have we mistaken? Right? Isn't it true? Now, by the way, we do not say about him or us that this is anything other than an opportunity and a now moment to awaken. See, this is enlightenment also, wouldn't it be? To go, there I was losing my marbles. Because in that moment, you are once again straight on the path, aren't you?
And Corey built a coffee for 25 hours.
Right on the path. Whatever is required, right? So Joko's definition of enlightenment was this, and then we'll sit. Doing what needed to be done. Simply. And that doesn't mean according to her. And that doesn't mean according to the Buddha. That means according to the capacities alive in you right now. That's it. Not some lofty idea. not some woulda, coulda, shoulda. It is not sufficient, folks. You will fail every day. But what can I do given this moment right now? Perfect. Doing what needs to be done that is within your capacity to do. And it is not everything, is it? And that's the setup, isn't it? We believe, but I couldn't do that. No, that wasn't supposed to be you. That was supposed to be her. You were supposed to do what you are capable of, given your conditions, your causes, your resources, and right. And we do this comparing constant, like, well, they and not me, and there she was, and there I wasn't. And it is a complete ridiculous waste of time. Do not let the mind do this to you. But what about that? I could have, and that's where that doubt came from in me. I got lost for a second going, yeah, but all true. That's not in life. That's not the job. My job is to go, now what? This moment, what? How do I use those very moments today beautifully? Awakened to them. They were causing harm. This does not need to continue and does not. How wonderful is that? Okay. Do we all get the idea? I want to read this because I just thought it was brilliant. And this is that article that I sent you. A part of is by Andrew Olensky, somebody I really is a brilliant scholar. And I think he comes out of the East Coast there somewhere. I want to find this. Here we go. I'm going to see if I can't pull it up for you. Let's see if we can read it. Here it is. I have to pop it up. Though the Buddha woke up suddenly and unshakably, I don't know about the sudden. I'm suspicious. I think it took him a little. I know he wasn't born awakened. It took some work, right? Though the Buddha woke up suddenly and unshakably, and this is Andrew Olensky speaking, I don't think we need to regard awakening in such an all or nothing way. This is our habit, isn't it? Life is a series of mind moments, each one a new creation. Every moment we inherit something from our past, transform it in our present aware experience, and thereby seed the consequences of our future. Get this idea? Each moment we inherit something from our past, transform it in our present by what? Awakening to it, and thereby seed the consequence of our future. At each moment, the toxins are being eradicated or compounded. Right? We're choosing each moment. Do I feed this? Do I recognize, accept, and transform by that very recognition? We call that, just so some of you know who haven't heard this word before, self-liberation. Any moment in which you recognize the truth of the present moment is a moment of self-liberation. Every one, even the ones you don't like, even the ones you wouldn't in your mind have picked, is a moment of possibility, isn't it? Can I see what's alive here? The hopelessness, the doubt, the confusion, the fear alive in me. This is a moment of awakening. And then there was this little line from one of the Dhammapada, which is a book of commentaries, not the Buddha's own words. It says, if one shows kindness with a clear mind, not making cookies to get the applause, right? Not making them because you really like sugar, and the way you think I could get some is if I made some for somebody else. Not that, right? Just to make them, just to be making an offer. If one were to show kindness with a clear mind, even once, hopeful, isn't it? Once, even once, it says, for living creatures. By that one, what it would, the concept was all becomes whole. Gosh, isn't that lovely? An act of kindness with intention, just one, draws the whole, he says, of the universe into oneness. Yes. I want you to remember that. Okay, so now we're going to sit. If you're looking at any moment with condemnation, criticism, hatred, aggression, delusion, it's not going my way, I'm not getting the thing I think I should get. If we can see that moment of suffering, we are just now drawing the whole of the universe into wholeness. Beautiful thought. And so we're going to call all those Buddhas, all those awakened ones, all those in need. We open our hearts as wide, as vast, as deep as we can. And that simply means we can open it in all directions as one of the instructions with no bias. And then we set the aspiration for the end of suffering for all beings, everywhere, without exception, omitting none, including that guy, including that person who has harmed you in the past, who wasn't there when you needed them, who said the wrong thing. And may our practice today contribute. And with that one act of kindness, transform the world. Just seeing how we are to begin. If you do not know this or recognize it as a moment of enlightenment, your path is too narrow, your idea of practice too small, your idea of yourself incomplete. We can stay in that vast open space if that is available to you, recognizing each sound as the bell of awakening. Each out breath, the dropping into this body, this moment, a moment of enlightenment. Recognizing a thought is a thought. A kind thought, a harsh thought. Equal enlightenment in its recognition. And we do not press forward towards enlightenment. It is only available right here, right now, in this seat, in this moment, with that cackling crow. And then we commit ourselves wholeheartedly to awakening to whatever is arising, simply this one breath. Awake to whatever is arising this moment. A complete moment of awakening. Just once, says the Buddha. Transforms the whole of the world. Just now. And just now. There is no awakening yesterday. No possibility for awakening at 8:45. And so we commit ourselves again and again and again. Just here, just now. With this body exactly as it is. Easeful, restless, achy, and if you get caught and carried away by thoughts, in the moment of awakening, you can begin again just now. Resting in the out breath, making contact with that gap, and then residing in that gap so that we see it as the whole of which we are an inseparable part. Every moment of awakening leads to the next, which leads to the next, which leads to the seeing the forgetting. A moment of awakening. And then we smile as we remember that basic goodness, that seed of Buddha nature in everything. The crow sound you didn't like and the chickadee sound you liked. We commit ourselves wholeheartedly with each breath. This is a moment by moment intention. We must guard the mind, stabilize the mind, purify the mind, and direct the mind with each breath. Towards what? Towards the good, towards our basic goodness, towards the possibility of residing fully, completely in this moment, transforming everything. What am I doing just sitting here? Awakening. Noticing how the body is, noticing where the mind is, checking in on the quality of the heart, awakening this moment. Thoughts about my scratchy throat, thoughts about the cold coffee, knowing thoughts as thoughts. Complete awakening. Do not wait for some other moment, some other throat, some other coffee. There is no other breath. Awaken in this one. each moment setting the table for the feast of the next. And the next. And then once again, we smile. This moment of awakening. Awakening just like this. And may it be of benefit. So that all may awaken. In this lifetime, no. Just now. So be it. feels a little more possible. Right? Like, oh, okay. One little step, one little breath, one little sound, one little thought. And then, however it is, whatever it is, isn't actually the point. Because we can awaken as much to a harsh thought as we can to a compassionate one. And in fact, if we don't catch the harsh thought, there is no possibility for compassion, is there? If we don't see the truth of suffering, which was the identified first noble truth, there is no possibility to its end. If you don't recognize suffering as suffering, if you don't see the mind that contributed, if you don't see that gripped body, right? Feel directly into the truth of it. If you don't recognize and know fear is fear, there is no path. Let me see what Chad has to say. It says, I can't, this is Kathleen. I garden, but also march. Yeah, there is infinite ways to awakening. There is no one, right? What I was talking about as it related to the gardening is sometimes we mistake the idea of practice for this very small box, very tiny window of what we're supposed to be doing. And then we're guaranteed to quit. And we are guaranteed to fail, aren't we, from there? And I just want to know you to know what's happening. That's not because enlightenment is not possible. It's not because it's not possible this moment. It's because you drew a very tiny dot for what you thought that was. And then hitting the target of that tiny, tiny particle dot is almost impossible because there's a lot of vast open space everywhere else. And actually, the truth is, awakening is all of that, not the dot. But you're resting in it going, oh, and then a dot, and then a not dot, and then a harsh thought, and then a compassionate one, and then hateful thoughts about that guy. And then recognizing the hateful thoughts about that guy, realizing this as the cause of suffering. Right? For sure. Because I have not had one happy, hateful thought in the whole of my lifetime. Not one. Every hateful thought I've ever had has hurt, has been painful, has been fear creating, has been separating, right? Anybody have a great hateful thought, right? And like every good drug, what does it do? For a minute, right? Little heroin injection there, that little adrenaline. And then you go, yeah, I got it. This feels good, right? It feels safe is what it feels because your fangs are out, right? You thought you saw a tiger, you became a bigger one. And for a second you went, I'm good. Until what? The cortisol, until you start to see it eroding organs, until your brain starts to turn into a raisin, which by the way, it is with every one of those. And it's physiologic, neurobiologic. We can measure it now. You're taking that beautiful plump thing and turning it into a tiny little knotted up, right? And then we wonder how we get disease. We know how we get it. We know how we get it. And yes, we are all still going to die of something. But that's not the point. Right? What did Pema say? How you die. How you die has everything to do with how you lived. And that also only comes one moment at a time. Right? However it is that you did it, one moment, one breath at a time. Someone wrote, totally get the merry-go-round mind of doubt, questioning. Yes, it is our path to know it. It is our path to know it. However, it is not our path to believe it's us. This is where we get confused, don't we? And then we go, there I am, that pathetic merry-go-mind of mine. Is not that helpful. You have just solidified one moment of awakening. You took the dot and you turned it into the universe. It was a dot. Yes, merry-go-mind moment. Yeah. Moment of seeing it, awakening. Right? Is everybody getting this idea? Awakening to merry-go-mind. This is lovely. But be watchful. Because if you think you only get that mind, you're already traveling off path. You're already veering off over the cliff because what? Moment of awakening, seeing merry-go-round mind, awakened. Awakened. Doubt, knowing doubt is doubt, awakened. Very inspirational for me. I have to leave early, sure, we know. Denise, I don't understand. Oh, I love questions. I don't understand the set the table for the feast metaphor. It means that every moment in which you are wholly present, wholly here, wholly awake to whatever is, you have already propagated that mind, set the table for the very next moment of awakening. And the probability of it occurring doubles, we know, says Rupert Sheldrake. With each good thought, you are likely now to get two. The one platypus made the many. It took one, didn't it? And then right from that one, he's a biologist, he went amazingly from the one, there was another one, and then there was a whole bunch of them. Until, of course, we came in and did what we did. But, right. So sets the perfect conditions of heart, mind, and body. This moment of awakening with whatever's in it for this very next possibility of awakening, which then sets that for double. 2, 4, 8, 6. Look at this. Look at the propagation, both to the good and also what? To the suffering. So does that help, Denise? I don't know if Denise is still on. I hope that's helpful.
Yes, thank you, Diana.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, that was you. Let me see what else we have. I think any other questions? I love that. And so what's in the way of your awakening right now? What's in the way? Janine, what's in your way?
Myself?
What, well, be careful. Not actually.
That's true. Thinking that my thoughts are myself.
Yeah. Buying in. Right, we bought in. We went that thought, mine. What did I say? 11 thoughts propagated throughout all time. Really, not one original. That thought about you is the same thought we've all had. I'm not getting this. This can't go right. If only I could have figured it out before this, right? And then we made the mistake, right? We got watchful of this, guarding the mind to go, this is just pathetic old me. Be careful. No, it isn't. The one that sees it is you. The one that just remembered right there is you. Erman, what's your thoughts about this?
That every moment is an opportunity to get back on track. That every instant is a fresh start.
Exactly. And then how would that, if you knew the truth of that, like you're saying it, and you just knew it, what would that mean for you?
That would mean a couple of things. One would be that I'm looking at myself in a compassionate way where it's okay to fail, because realizing that you failed gives you the opportunity to start again and look at yourself as, you know, as a being that makes mistakes, but in a love and kind way, so that you can get back to where you were and not like lose faith. And it's okay to be upset, but just realize that you have a chance to realize that every instant is a new opportunity to continue with that path.
Yes. Yes. And there is a faith component in this, I think, Herman. I think there is a part of us that does have to entrust, doesn't it? And then through practice, right, through actually seeing clearly ourselves, we then begin to see, no, it is true. I can actually have the harsh thought. I can forget. I can get stuck in the past. I can see myself vaulted into some failed future. And in the very seeing, recognizing this as the essential path, this is the moment. And then there is no real failure. There is just causes and conditions. Some we liked, some we didn't. Right? And seeing them all is the wisdom factor. And then you said something I love, feeling for oneself is the other. And that's compassion. And then we begin, but with only this can we begin again, right? We need both to begin again. I have to see clearly, well, that was a moment of falling off. Not me, not mine, just quality of mind, quality of humanness, quality of being. And in this very recognition, self-liberated, self-righted, meditate, mediate, self-correcting, self-regulating right away, both in the chemistry, as we're talking about in our MBSR class, and in the reality of the body and mind. It all rights itself. The cortisol level go down, the adrenaline levels go down, the heart rate goes down, the blood pressure goes down, the eye dilation is reduced, the sense of ease and muscle tension tightness is released. And then the chemicals play along because we are what? One. And if that's happening for you, guess what? It's happening for the person next to you. We also know this. It isn't just your experience. Your experience is propagating that for every person in the space. We know this from waiting room research. The calm person in that waiting room calmed everybody. Oh, really? You didn't talk to that person. You don't know them. You know them though, don't you? You do, because you've been that person, haven't you? You've gone, it's okay. This is going to be all right. And you now, this is what it meant in that line from the Dhammapada that said, one moment transforms everything. And my teacher said, when I finally was complaining to her, how many moments do you have to be kind? How many moments do you have to be awake? How many, this looks endless to me. And she was like, yes, correct. And she said, because each moment, just like this line from the Dhammapada, you are a drop of dye in an infinite ocean, changing the whole of it, even though you cannot see. Isn't that a beautiful understanding? You are the drop of dye in an infinite ocean, even if you cannot see its truth. and then another, and then another, and then another. And so can we attune ourselves to that essential goodness? It says, this is the first work in you, essential goodness in you. Why? How do I know? You're sitting here. That's how I know. You chose to come here. You chose to get online. You chose to go to the march. You chose to give money to St. Andrews. You chose to go in your pantry and look for a couple cans. That's how I know. And we do it over and over, don't we? We keep doing it over and over. Lisa, will you do me a favor and open the lemon ricotta cookies? This is really Pavlov's.
This is here. These are the goodies.
This is social work 101. They say, bring a donut and a bat. And I worked in the Robert Taylor projects in Chicago. And my father decided the bat wasn't enough, and he buys me a small Derringer. And he says, you have to bring this into the projects. And I went, so they can get it from me and kill me? You mean? Since I'm never going to be able, right? He just liked the idea. He liked the idea. But right, moment of enlightenment. What? Recognizing the truth of being unsafe. This is very skillful. And then needing to make a response to that, right? Now, I don't think it was actually the Derringer, though my father being my father, right? He actually would have preferred I had an AK-15 if he was telling the total truth. And what? I understood the truth of that, which is you cannot believe that just because you're a nice person, everything's going to be okay there. And he was correct, wasn't he? You can't just go, that's pie in the sky, pink glasses, not real. You have to understand where you really are and who you really are in relationship to this. And from there, it can be okay. And of course, then by the way, it was okay. I found a way. And we all can, can't we? In what looked like at the time, an absolutely impossible situation. Enlightenment. Enlightenment. Let me look at chat. What else? Recognize and let go. That's a tricky one, Janine. Recognize and let go. Actually, I'm not sure it's quite that streamlined. So what would you say about it based on our talk? It is recognize, but I don't think let go happens right there.
I think this was in context to once you've awakened within the moment,
Yeah.
what do you do with it?
What do you do with it? So recognize is essential. Here's the beauty about letting go. You don't have to let go. It went. It left. You didn't have to do a thing because nothing lasts longer than that arising, passing moment. You don't want to stay hooked, I think you mean, or propagating it, but you're the one dragging it. There's nothing actually to let go of. There's just the awakening. It is going by its nature. You get this idea? So the letting go might be of those harshly believed thoughts, that failed sense of self. And I don't even know if we totally let go of that either. We just see it. And then what? Feel for ourselves in these harsh propagating thoughts about me, because you can't have the harsh propagating thought about the other if you didn't have the harsh thought about you. This is why we sit and why just garden meditation is ultimately also not sufficient. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing it. Right. But just gardening, you're going to be engaged in the gardening and not necessarily have an available mirror to this quality of mind that went, well, that was dumb. This is stupid. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why you did it either. Right. Because that's actually what the idea is. We want the mirror of the present moment, don't we? To see
Our connect-
our connectedness to it all and the truth of our capacity to separate ourselves from it. We need both, don't we? The truth of our connectedness to everything, said Dennis, still not sufficient. It's true and right. And our capacity to remove ourselves from that totality and then wake up. I don't have to do that. This is not required. I can actually just rest in that wholeness, oneness, interconnection, you call it whatever, love, right? All the same. Yeah, I got another here. Let me see what this says. Marchers love leftovers. Yes, they will be there. They will be there for sure. I love that. I love that. Marchers love leftovers. That we may need a t-shirt or something that on it. That could be a requirement. I love that, Janine. Thank you so much. Anything else? We're getting this idea, aren't we? And did you see how you forgot? I want you to know this. Did you see how you went lifetimes later? Someday maybe. If only. And then maybe I could do enough Philabellis that this could finally happen. Maybe if only I had more cans, it would work out. If I wore the right t-shirt, then I could remember. No, 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 no. Just now, the goodness of you, just now, and its infinite capacity, just now. That's it. You don't have to do one other thing. Right. And yes, the cookies will be down at Encinitas Boulevard in El Camino. Yes, they will. Okay. We understand this. I know we do. And it is a relief, isn't it? Can you see where the end of suffering is? It was right there. In remembering that it is only now. That there wasn't later, more, other, if only. There's none of this. This is all papancha, they call it. Mind propagating suffering. Papancha. Don't you love that? It sounds like popcorn. Papancha. Mind propagating suffering with these falsely believed thoughts. Can I see them? Yes. Can I awaken just now to this? Yes. Can you what? Only smile, feel for oneself, and all those just like me who keep forgetting for a moment and then can remember too. Yeah. All right, let's do our prayer. Opening to the whole, the vastness, the infinite nature of this heart mind and all heart minds. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. and for the boundless multitudes of living beings. May I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are free from sorrow and all are awakened. May we call to heart, mind those for whom we are practicing today. May we include Ryan and his family, Linda, Felicia, Leslie, Joyce, and Rick, and all beings. And may this practice, this very moment of awakening, contribute as it will. So be it. Thank you all. We have lots of opportunities for your contribution to that goodness for us all. That includes St. Andrews this Tuesday. That would mean monies going or food items going. If you have either, let somebody know. Me, Carrie, Lisa, somebody. It all counts. If you can't do that and you can't do the march today and you can't do St. Andrews, you can do Philabelly on Thursday, April 17th. I don't know how we're doing, Lynn.
We still need a couple of mains and we need all the dessert.
We need mains and desserts
and beverage.
remaining and beverages. My husband is down for the Gatorade for that. So Al is Gatorade.
Oh, he's Gatorade.
He's Gatorade. Let's get him down. If you haven't done Philabelly before, please know it is a very fulfilling, joyful event. We are looking forward. We have some new friends joining us. And I'm very excited and happy about that also. Let Lynn know. Lynn, I'm going to throw your phone number down here. Wait a minute. Let me get to chat. This is Lynn Stein, who is our liaison and leader for this. And it is 858-245. 1478. That is the way to let us know that you would like to join us Thursday, April 17 from 6 a.m. to PM. PM. Scratch. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the United Methodist Church right here behind the In-N-Out in Encinitas. So that's happening there. Please look in your pantries. They love everything. We have not made anything that wasn't well enjoyed and appreciated. So let's do that. Okay, that's a good start, isn't it? It's a good start. So everyone enjoy your day. Janine, those cookies are coming your way. Yep. You're so welcome, everyone. Blessings to all. See you on Tuesday. Take care.
Thank you, John.
You're so welcome. Jeanette, good to see you.